Hi everybody, in this video we're going to talk about another kind of percent word problem called a find the new value problem, or I call it a find the new value problem. And we're going to talk about three strategies for answering a find the new value problem. The first strategy is what I call the equation strategy. We're going to write out this equation, new value equals original value plus the percent of change times the original value, and then we just plug in what we know, and then we solve for what we're trying to find. So for example, we have here, answer the following find the new value problem using all three methods. Here's the problem. Anita Brake, won a $285 prize, but had to pay a 5% fee. How much did she get to keep? So I'm going to talk about this number line in a little while if that was confusing you. Let's understand what's going on here. She won some kind of contest, apparently, and the prize money was $285, so pretty sweet, right? But then she had to pay a 5% fee out of the prize money. Now that does not mean that she had to pay $5. A lot of students get confused there, and they think, oh, if she had to pay a 5% fee, that means I should just subtract 5 from this number. But no, if the problem had said she had to pay a $5 fee, then you would just do 285 minus $5 is $280, so that's what she had left. But this says she had to pay a 5% fee, which means that we need to find what 5% of 285 is, and then take that away from 285. Actually, that's what I'm going to do with strategy 2. For the first strategy, we could answer this by writing the equation there. So I'm going to write it out again. I'm going to use this space over here, otherwise I'll run out of space. So the new value is equal to the original value. That should be 2 words. I know it looks like I put them close together. Plus the percent of change times the original value. Okay, so what can I plug in for the new value in this problem? Well, I can't plug anything in because I'm not given the new value, meaning I don't know how much money Anita will have after she pays the 5% fee. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So over here, I'll just put an X and then equals. Now I do know the original value. The original value, the amount that she was given was $285. So I can plug that in over here, and I can also plug that in over here. Notice that the original value is written twice in this equation. Okay, plus the percent of change, and then times the original value. So what was the percent of change? The percent of change was 5%, except you have to be careful here. If you have to pay a fee, your money doesn't go up, it goes down, right? So this percent of change is really a negative. Okay, so let's write that the percent of change was negative 5%, and we're going to write 5% as a decimal. So just remember, if I want to convert a percent into a decimal, I take the decimal point, and if you don't see where the decimal point is, like here, there's no decimal point written, then it comes at the end of the number. Just move it 2 spaces to the left, and that'll be your new number. So this one is going to be 0.05, or you can write 0.05. Okay, and there is our equation. Now, we could just rewrite this plus negative as minus. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. So the new value which I'm looking for, x, is equal to 285 minus 0.05 times 85. And for this, now you can just evaluate this. You can use a calculator. You could do it by hand, or I don't mind if you use a calculator. I'm going to use a calculator here. So 0.05, or 0.05 times 285 is 1425. Okay, so we have x equals 285 minus 1425. Notice I'm using my order of operations here. So I had subtraction here and I had multiplication here. We do multiplication before we do subtraction, right? So that's why I multiplied these things first. And I want to ask you, so think about it, even though this is a video and you can't actually tell me, what does this 14.25 represent? What is that? Okay, that's the fee that Anita had to pay. She had to pay $14.25 out of the $285 that she got in the first place. That's why it would be incorrect. Like a lot of students say, oh, I'm just going to do 285 minus 5, and then there's my answer, 280. But the fee was not $5. The fee was 5% of $285, which is $14.25. So that's the number that we should be subtracting from 285, not 5, okay? So next thing that we'll do is just do 285 minus 14.5, and that should be 270.75. I hope I got that right. 285 minus 14.25. Yeah, 270.75. So this number represents what we were actually looking for. This is x, okay? X equals this. It is the new value. It's the new amount of money that Anita has after she paid that fee. So she was given $285, but then immediately she had to pay a fee, and so she only has $270.75 left. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve this same question using a different strategy, which I'm just going to call strategy 2. So I'll scroll down here, and I don't have a fancy name for this one. So I'm just calling it strategy 2. Here's strategy 2. Step 1 is you multiply the percent written as a decimal by the original value. Step 2, depending on the problem, add the result to or subtract it from the original value. Okay, so let's do step 1 first. So I'm doing strategy 2 now. Step 1, I will multiply the percent written as a decimal by the original value. Okay, so the percent was 5%. I'm going to write that as a decimal. That's 0.05. I'm going to multiply that with the original value, the original amount that Anita got, which was $285. And we already figured that out. That's $14.25, right? Okay, so now I'm going to move on to step 2. Depending on the problem, add the result to, so this is my result from step 1 is 14.25. So depending on the problem, I'm going to add or subtract this from the original amount, which was 285. Now, how do I know if I should add or subtract? Well, I have to read the problem. Anita had to pay a 5% fee. So again, if she's paying that fee, then her money is not going up, her money is going down. So we're going to subtract this number from 285. So our next step is to do 285 minus 14.25. And that's going to give us, like we said before, 270.75. And that's the amount of money that she has after paying the fee. Notice that the steps that we take here are exactly what we did when we used the equation strategy. So we wrote the equation out over here and we plugged in and we solved. But really in the end, all we had to do was multiply 0.05 with 285. That's like step 1 over here. And then subtract that result from 285. That's step 2 over here. So strategy 2 basically follows logically from what you're doing in order to solve this equation over here. Now let's move on to another strategy, which again, I did not name in any fancy way. I'm just calling it strategy 3. So step 1, depending on the problem, add the percent of change to or subtract it from 100%. Again, since she's paying this fee, I'm going to subtract here. I'm going to subtract 5% from 100%. So, you know what? Let me just move this line over. Aha. So this is strategy 3 that I'm doing right now, not strategy 2 anymore. My step 1 for strategy 3 is I'm going to take 100%, and since she's paying that fee, I'm going to subtract 5%, and the result would be 95%. Okay, so that's step 1 when you're using strategy 3. And then step 2 is we're going to multiply the result, meaning multiply 95% written as a decimal, which would be 0.95. Multiply that by the original value. The original amount that Anita got was $285. And you can see that if you do that, you will get the exact same answer that you got before. Okay, so 0.95 times 285 equals 270.75. Same thing that we got before. Okay, 3 strategies that all give us the same result. Okay, let me put the dollar sign here because we are talking about dollars here. All right, but it was the same for all of them. Now I have this number line here because I want you to understand what's going on visually. So over here at 100%, I'm going to put the original value, which was 285. And then Anita had to pay a fee of 5%. So maybe on this side over here, where I have all the percentages, I can say that we're subtracting 5%. So we started at 100%, and then we're going down by 5%. So then we would be in between 90% and 100%. On this side over here, what's happening is we're starting at 285, and then we're going down by 14.25. So in other words, 14.25 is 5% of 285. So we started with 285, we went down by 14.25, and the result, well, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to just erase this because I really should have thought ahead. This doesn't give me a whole lot of room here. Anyway, we started with 285 over here, and then the result was 270.75. I know that's really hard to see. I hope you can see that. And you might be wondering yourself where the number 95% comes into all of this. Well, if I start at 100% and I go down by 5%, then where I'm at over here on this side of the number line, I know that's really hard to see, I apologize, but I'm at 95% over here. So we could say that if we take 285 and decrease it by 5%, then we're at 270.75. Or another thing that we could say is that 95% of 285 is 270.75. Okay? All right, so I'm going to end the video there, and have a great day.